Patrick Mahomes versus Josh Allen on Sunday night on CBS. This is what you live for. A sensational, dreamy quarterback matchup. These cats are elite, special, do-it-all, dominating quarterbacks. This matchup is historic. First ever playoff game in NFL history to feature two quarterbacks who threw for 5 touchdowns in their previous postseason game. How amazing is that? Buckle up, Buttercup. And perhaps Mahomes' genius was a little underrated because Allen's game was better and Mahomes' came in a glorified scrimmage against a Steelers team that was hardly a real playoff squad. But make no mistake, Mahomes lit Pittsburgh up. It was fast and it was furious. 5 straight touchdown passes in a 10-minute, 30-second span. That's the shortest stretch for 5 touchdown passes in NFL history. And beating Mahomes in Arrowhead, let's be honest, it's nearly impossible. They would be perfect at home with Patrick Mahomes if Dee Ford lined up on the right side of the line of scrimmage against New England. And Mahomes has the great Travis Kelce and the great Tyreek Hill cooking on Sunday nights. But Allen's been better this year than Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen threw 5 touchdown passes against the greatest coach of all time on Saturday night against Bill Belichick and the Patriots. 7 of the Bills' 9 drives were touchdowns. Those other 2, the kneel downs at the end of each half. That's perfection. That's domination. That's pitching the perfect game. 5 touchdowns, over 300 yards passing, over 60 rush yards. And while Hill and Kelce are the 2 best weapons in the game, the Bills' depth around their quarterback on offense is better than Kansas City's. It's a fact. Stephon Diggs, a star. Cole Beasley, Emmanuel Sanders, so reliable. Allen loves Gabe Davis. Isaiah McKenzie adds great speed. And Dawson Knox has been so great at tight end. Oh, by the way, DEVIN Singletary is clearly the best running back in this game, averaging 81 yards per game in the Bills' last 5, giving Josh Allen and Buffalo that needed balance. Sure, yes, I get it. I remember last year on Championship Sunday. I also remember the Buffalo Bills beating Kansas City by 18 points this year in Arrowhead. And the Bills' elite pass defense picking off Patrick Mahomes twice. Look, there's going to be no jumping through a table when the Bills win. This is expected. They have the hotter and better team and the hotter quarterback. Talking to the press yesterday, Aaron Rodgers stressed exactly what he said to me on the critically acclaimed Schein podcast. A second championship would be everything. The postseason march for Rodgers and the Packers, starting Saturday night against the Niners, a team that has stunningly owned him in the playoffs, that's the beginning of a run to a Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers is 0-3 in the postseason against the team he grew up rooting for. It's in notes, but it's hardly significant or relevant. Rodgers beat the Niners this year already in Week 3 with Davante Adams going bonkers. Oh, by the way, since Week 11, Aaron Rodgers is on the ultimate heater. He told me on the aforementioned Schein podcast that it's the best stretch of football he's ever played in his career, which says something about something because he's the most talented quarterback ever in NFL history, about to win his 4th MVP. And Green Bay has earned the bye, earned home field advantage at Lambeau, earned needed time to get signature ball players back and or rested. I know Packers fans, they've had their hearts broken at home in the postseason before. But all year, this team has felt special, felt different. And it all starts with Rodgers. I just don't see him losing at Lambeau. Mike Tomlin is energized by something new, and I get it. With Ben Roethlisberger set to retire after a Hall of Fame career, the Steelers are in the quarterback business for the first time since they picked Ben Roethlisberger in the first round in 2004. Now, I can be snarky and correct here and say that I have begged the Steelers to be prepared for this for a few years, and obviously I'm right, and now the Steelers need to get to work, but I won't be snarky for the sake of conversation. Russell Wilson is going to be traded, okay? I don't think that's the guy for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's not a quarterback away from being a great team. The Pittsburgh Steelers haven't won a playoff game in 6 years. Sure, they made the playoffs this year, and I was wrong, but I was right that they didn't win a postseason game. And, I mean, think about the division. They don't stack up with Cincy or a healthy Ravens team or the Browns if the Cleveland Browns improve the quarterback position. I think the perfect quarterback to bring in and get better and win a playoff game is Derek Carr. If the Raiders foolishly shop him, got to see who the new head coach is with the Raiders. But Carr is also due a huge raise, and Mike Tomlin in his news conference yesterday stressed athleticism as a talking point for his next quarterback. And Carr is great, but he's more of a pocket passer. I think Pittsburgh needs to draft a quarterback. Let me tell you who I love. I love Malik Willis out of Liberty. I love Kenny Pickett out of Pittsburgh. At the end of the day, these guys are great athletes with great arms, super intelligent. I also think if you draft a Willis or a Pickett, that would also require a stopgap, a change of scenery vet. Think Jameis Winston or Mitch Trubisky, who just got his PhD in how to play quarterback, playing for Brian Daboll and learning from Josh Allen, or someone like Sam Darnold. I don't want to hear about Mason Rudolph. No. Mason Rudolph is not your starter, okay? He said today he wants to be the guy. He's had his chances. He's not the guy. Dwayne Haskins, please. He cannot be relied on at all. Pittsburgh, and here's the deal, still needs to get so much better on the offensive line and the defense. And frankly, I would change the offensive coordinator too. But the key to this entire process is you need to realize that you need to find your next franchise quarterback, but it's the internal self-awareness that the Steelers are not close to being great. You need a quarterback, but you need so much more. Needless to say, getting Derrick Henry back would be a huge boost for Tennessee. Listen, I'm obsessed with Derrick Henry. I think he's one of the best running backs I've seen in the last 30 years. He is a special, dominant, game-changing back. He is just physical, he's speedy, but there's a legit I don't know quotient, and we've talked about that, and Derrick Henry talked to the press today and literally said he didn't know. I mean, he's got a plate in his foot. He hasn't been hit. You know, you have to figure it out on the fly, and that means you might realize that he's not ready to play at the King Henry level. He is human, so, and did that take away carries from Foreman, who's been strong, or opportunities for Tannehill to throw to A.J. Brown? So I hope Derrick Henry is vintage King Henry, because when he's right, he's one of the best all-around players in the entire league. I'm skeptical, I'm curious, and both of those are not good things when it comes to Tennessee winning on Saturday. Needless to say, Joe Burrow has a lot of respect for the Tennessee Titans, but Joe Burrow is going to beat his best on Saturday in Nashville. And I think this is a major advantage for Cincinnati, the quarterback position for the Bengals versus Ryan Tannehill. And the aforementioned, I don't know when it comes to Derrick Henry. We know about Joe Burrow. We know about Burrow to Chase. We know about Burrow to T. Higgins. We know about Burrow to Boyd. We know about Burrow to Uzama, the tight end. We know what Joe Burrow can do. Now, this Tennessee defense is brilliantly coached under Mike Vrabel. Byard is a star safety, voted for him, and he won first-team All-Pro. Jeffrey Simmons is excellent on that defensive line. Landry gets to the quarterback. I think, though, Joe Burrow loves taking that baseball bat to history and just beating the bad Bengals history over the head with a baseball bat or a sledgehammer with his toughness and his execution and his moxie. I get it. The Cincinnati Bengals are 0-7 historically in the postseason on the road. Never won a road playoff game. They've never had Joe Burrow at the quarterback position. I can't wait to watch him shine coming up on CBS on Saturday. Needless to say, it's going to be a long night for Jimmy G at Lambeau. And look, this would be my take, Garoppolo big spot anyway, but it's Garoppolo dealing with the thumb. It's Garoppolo dealing with the shoulder. It's Garoppolo missing a wide open receiver or throwing a bad interception in a big spot. Going up against a really strong Green Bay Packers defense. I mean, obviously we focus on Rodgers, but, you know, we're talking about a great defense. And, you know, Garoppolo is compromised. So, listen, I respect the 49ers. I'm obsessed with Deebo Samuel, obsessed with George Kittle, Trent Williams, who you've seen on Time to Shine this year. Love Kyle Shanahan, love DeMeco Ryans. I loathe the Niners' chances of winning because this quarterback matchup is not even close to a fair fight. Oh, I love that. Needless to say, the Rams aren't scared of Tom Brady. I mean, they respect Tom Brady. And McVay talked about how Tom has this gift of, you know, understanding what to do in every situation and his anticipation and how smart he is and all the playoff wins and experience. But they're not scared of no GOAT. I mean, that's how it works. I mean, they've already knocked off Tom Brady. They've already beat Tom Brady. We've seen it happen. Love this matchup for Aaron Donald and for Von Miller and this pass rush. And obviously Tristan Wirfs is all banged up. The LA Rams are expected to win this game because they're getting Brady and the Bucs, who are injured at the right time. And even if they weren't injured, I still think the Rams, their defense, Raheem Morris, who's a sensational defensive coordinator, should be a head coach again in the NFL. Raheem Morris revenge game going up against the Buccaneers. I love the way the Rams defense matches up with Tom Brady and the Buccaneers.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell for more videos.